Scanning for audio.
Welcome once again to a Tin Dog Podcast. This is Tin Dog Podcast number 1267. Yeah, I've been doing this a while. Episode 8 of Series 1 of Disney Who, the series formerly known as Doctor Who. I hope that absolutely everyone who went out to the cinema and watched the last two parts of this series had an absolutely lovely time. I know there were a lot of people of a certain age who still managed to fight the darkness and get out there and watch this in the cinema. Now, I always was jealous of the people who got to see Doctor Who in the cinema when it was the 50th anniversary. I really was. It just felt great. And I wish I'd been there. But for this, I'm glad I was asleep. So, this week feels like it's lasted a month. I've got a question for you, and I'd like you to be honest. If you downloading this on YouTube, leave a comment. If you want to email me, tin-dog@hotmail.uk, or even on the platform formerly known as Twitter, where I'm at Tin Dog Podcast, I've got a question for you. In fact, I've got a couple. The first question is, are you a nice person while Doctor Who is on the air? Seriously, does it affect your mood? I know that there's a whole thing, especially in the Northeast, about when the team's doing badly, that the atmosphere in the whole city and the whole area, region, if you want, goes downhill. There used to even be an increase in domestic violence when the team was doing badly, which is an extreme example. But when Doctor Who is actually on air, I give a lot of my mental processing to working out where things are going, what's happening, and it distracts me. I become less focused, and I become a less nicer person. Does this happen to you, or is it just me? Am I just a really bad fan, investing far too much of my own head in this? And my other question is, I've had such a bad experience of this particular season of Doctor Who, and the last few to be fair, that I'm thinking, should I just give up on Doctor Who fandom? Or at least this aspect of it? Perhaps I should be podcasting about something else. Should I finally give in and do the Great Pilgrimage and just podcast every single one of the original TV stories, review them all, chat with you about those things that I actually feel passionate and gorgeous about and liked? Or, even more exciting, should I do the other Great Pilgrimage, the one no one else seems to have done, where all 275 of the monthly range, 270 odd because there's a few side trips involved, of Big Finish's monthly range? I could do the second pilgrimage, the New Testament to the original pilgrimage's Old Testament, if you will. Should I do those? Some people have even suggested I abandoned it completely and do see the X-Files, which my dissertation was on, or even, I don't know, Space 1999, and I know for a fact that Luke wouldn't join me on that particular trip. In the next few days there will be for your consideration, and I hope you enjoy that. But let's discuss this particular Empire of Death. Scrappy-Doo is attached to the top of the TARDIS. Yeah, I know. There was Thursday night homework where you get to watch Pyramids of Mars, but I'll talk about more of that in a minute. Let's look at the notes. It's 2 pages of notes, which is cool. But my first line is, when you kill everyone, there is no more peril. Narratively speaking, killing everyone needs to happen at the end of a story, not the beginning of an episode. Because you go, well, it's just going to be reset, isn't it? And I know that's what we've signed up for with Russell. The great big reset in the sky. Now, if Russell went to this entire length, this whole 8 episodes, in order just to bring back Gallifrey, I will forgive this season unreservedly. It's all written off. It's done. Gallifrey's back. We're all fine. Everybody's alive. Hooray, we're doing a little dance. Whether that's happened or not, well, we'll get back to you. There were so many questions left at the end of the last episode. Seriously. Shed loads. Why is she wearing a cloak? Why can't you see her face? What's she pointing at? And you find out that it's all rubbish. Ruby's mum is an actual ordinary person who's just managed to stay off the DNA database because she's embarrassed about what she did. And why she was dressed as somebody from, what's that Claudia Winkleman program called? The Imposters or something? It doesn't matter. But my big question, my big thing isn't, oh, Sutek, you look like a massive, weird CGI dog. I get that. Why are you suddenly a god when really you were an alien with godlike powers, which is not the same thing, and you've been hanging around the TARDIS? Oh my God, the internet. How many people have hit the internet going, this is what the TARDIS was doing with Sutek on it. What happens when there's multiple TARDISes in the same room, all chatting with each other? Oh, are you a TARDIS? Yeah, you're... Do they talk? Do they even know each other are there? They should. If the TARDISes travelled back with the Jodie Doctor and met Ruth's Doctor, therefore that TARDIS might have a Sutek on, so you'll have pre-Hartnell Suteks. Yeah. And then you've got the ones in Flatline, which is a tiny one, and so on, and so on. We get it. Putting Sutek on top of the TARDIS is nonsense, and it breaks a few big finishes that everyone holds in high regard. I know why they did it, but you know what? It's just, hey, we're trying to reinvent the series for this. Why don't we just fixate on something that happened in 1975? Whatever it was. No. Yes, I know it's the story that everyone holds in high regard. It's the one that's in Queer as Folk. It's the one that kept being repeated on Sunday mornings. We've all seen it 1,000 times. However, I don't know what to say, really. Oh, right, okay, so Russell kills everyone off so early and everyone's just stranded on a TARDIS, a memory TARDIS, trying to figure out what to do. The whole time window thing was absolute waste of time. It could have just been some weird projection thing. It doesn't matter. They've now got the memory TARDIS from the little spin-off BBC 4 things. Yeah, which basically just looks like somebody's, a fan's shed full of nice props that they've made themselves, which is great. But no, I don't know. And then, in order to fill up the time, we've got the exciting world of the Doctor trying to get a spoon off a woman. Now, my wife did take the time out to explain this. The whole narrative thing where you've got a certain character, because if everyone's dead, you need to have a bit of emotional context for it. So there you've got one person who's just forgot everything and their child died and vanished. Magic Spoon Witch, I think people are scrolling her. Don't really get it because it's just a thing. She's just filler. Why the Doctor needs a spoon when he's, for a start, got Sylvester McCoy's spoons in that actual TARDIS. He's probably got Peter Capaldi's special spoon if you want to go down that road. I know the word spoon is a good word, but why bother? It just felt like it had been shoehorned in. I know the woman turns up at the end and, oh look, her child is alive and everything's fine and life is and blah 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 blah. I don't even bring Sutek's gift of death anymore. I bring Sutek's gift of dust. Well, you know what? We've all got hoovers and dehumidifiers. That's fine. And how come there's still dust when everyone comes back to life? Where's the dust come from? Have everyone lost weight? Okay, here's another random rant. Lenny, right? Lenny's got his Segway, right? And his Segway's got machine guns built in. Russell was saying he wanted to change the sonic screwdriver because he didn't want it looking like a gun. But he gives a 13-year-old machine guns built inside. I know it's a callback to Ruth's missiles in a wheelchair. But you know what? I don't care. My daughter, bless her, to cheer me up, was having a bit of a chat, and she was saying, the Doctor Who's we used to watch, they were much better. And I went, they were, but perhaps you're just not remembering them properly. She went, no, I liked the one with the dinosaurs and the dodgy little arms. And she went, and this Sutek doggy person, the doggy person, I get it. The doggy person, was he, she's 15 and she said doggy person because she was taking the piss. Was he original? I went, yeah, and he had a great voice then, and he said, I'll tell you what, I'll put it on. So I put on the original, not the pissed about with version, the original Pyramids of Mars. And she went, oh, this is what I liked. I like it when it wobbles. I like it when the TARDIS is just a box on a piece of string being spun in the air. That's what this series needs. It needs random crap effects. And she's absolutely right, because that would just make, only me happy. Now, here's the real bugbear. We've been building up to who is her mother. And then she smashes the screen and you're not meant to find out. And that would have been fine if you'd left it there. But no, UNIT manages to hack somebody's DNA database, bring up who she is. Ta-da! She's got a dad she didn't know about. You know what? It's just going to be some bloke. We don't care. And then, most importantly, on top of all of that, it's just some woman who was in a Valco shopping thing. She was in that flood thing on ITV, and she was a nurse for the NHS. Well, fine. My mother was a nurse and a toolmaker or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but it just felt pointless and stupid. Have her not find out who her mother is. Leave it for a while. Have her mother find out. Her mother's embarrassed. The reunited scenes just felt like you were just waiting for... All right. Who else was sat there while they were sat in the pub thinking, are we going to get a next time trailer? Because that's literally all I care about. I do not care any more about any of this. I don't care about her. I don't care about her mum. I don't care about the rest of the family at all. I don't care any more about the small stuff. I'm sorry. Perhaps that's what I'm here for. Perhaps I do need to embrace a different fandom or just go old school. Because all this has done is turn me into a bitter, nasty, twisted fan, and that's not me. I'm here for the fun, the excitement, the love. Oh my God, the love for the show is unbeatable, but God, they're trying hard. I'm sorry. I'd read some more notes, but you know what? It doesn't matter. There was no delivery on the promise, no real emotion from anyone in my family. And it's going to take till 2047 for the British to have the DNA database by law, depending on who wins the election. It could be next week. Right. I'm going to go now, and if you've got any feedback, any thoughts, please just reach out and save me. Until next time. Oh, actually, next time's going to be for your consideration, where we discuss some lovely, lovely Dirk Gently stuff. But if you've only come for the Doctor Who that's been on TV, I hope you've enjoyed my ramblings and rants. And until next time, be seeing you.
That was the Doctor Who Tin Dog Podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, RSS, Vimeo, and across the internet. Doctor Who and its associated properties are all copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Why not become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.